Hey there, Mike again. How y'all doing? So, I promised y'all that I was going to do a video on some mobile electronics like radar detectors and dash cams on an alternative to mounting them the way people normally mount them. Obviously, most people mount using, typical suction cup to the window, different variations of them, but problem with that is with heat, cold, or whatever, they all tend to fall down. And if they're stuck to the window, you can't put up a sunscreen or a sunshade. And then if you try to take them down, you leave all the marks and stuff. Now, most have come out for the dash cams using an electrostatic film. It's a clear film and it sticks to your window and doesn't move, and then you can mount to that. There's three basic ways to mount. One was a suction cup. Another is adhesive, where the back of it has like the 3M double side and you stick it. And then the third would be like a bracket mount to your rear view mirror. Now, the bracket mount is the best of the three. The adhesive, the problem is you put it up on the window and it's pretty permanent. Yeah, you can get it off, but it's a real pain in the ass. Especially you're gonna have to use a razor blade to get the old glue, 3M double-sided tape off, and that's why they have that electrostatic sticker. Piece of plastic that goes up there. Then you can stick to that, and that's not bad. But the problem is, it's still pretty much permanent to that sticker. Now you can peel off the electrostatic and try to move it, because if you're trying to put up a webcam or not a webcam, a dash cam, if you get it accidentally tilted or whatever, you're not going to get to pull it off again. You're going to have to pull off the whole sticker and try to shift it. And that's okay. But again, what if you're also the kind of person that wants to take it down because you're afraid somebody might break in and steal it, or you want to put up the sunshade and you don't want that heat melting your electronics, or maybe you're cheap like me and you want to be able to move that dash cam to another car if you have more than one car. The best way to do it, and even if you have to use that electrostatic sticker, don't stick, let's just assume for a second, this piece here, let's say this is the dash cam. It's flat and all. Let's say it has the double-sided sticker. You don't want to stick it straight to that electrostatic film. You can, but like I said, now you're going to have a hard time getting it off. What I recommend is on that electrostatic film, you stick one of these thin pieces of metals. They come in different sizes. You know these things. They're the things you put on the back of your phone, your cell phone, or the case, and then you can stick it to like a magnet that you have on your dashboard, like an event or something to hold your phone up. This is double-sided too, with a sticky. Stick this to the electrostatic. Then, again, assuming this is the dash cam, I have, let's see if I can see, magnets on these. Now, I only show two here, and I'm going to show all this in my vehicle when we're done here. But these are rare earth magnets. They're really very super strong. These are 8mm by 3mm. You can get a 10-pack at Harbor Freight for $2.99. And when they stick, they stick. I also bought, I thought I had them with me. Maybe I don't. But anyway, you can buy like 80 of them from Amazon for like $9. I use them for so many other projects. So, assuming this was the back of the webcam, I put like 6 of them, 2 rows of 3. And then I can stick this right to that metal plate. So you have that metal plate on there and boom, it just sticks on it. Now you can adjust it, you can turn it. It's easy to pull off. You can slide it off, move it to another car, or if you're afraid it might get stolen, take it off. But again, that's if you want to stick it up on the window still. At least it gives you a way to take it on and off without having to deal with it being permanently stuck on there. Now, on a radar detector, they weigh a little bit more. I wouldn't necessarily do that. But again, I recommend you use a bracket on the rear view mirror. Now, it's going to be hard to get both a radar detector and a dash cam up on there. I would use a bracket just for the camera because you want it to be sturdy. You don't want a camera. And another problem with these, any kind of a suction cup thing, is that they bounce, and you don't want your camera bouncing around while you're moving. But I would go ahead and put a bracket on the rear view mirror. Then go ahead again, like if this was the dash cam, have the magnets there, and have one of these flat pieces, either the round one or the square one, whatever, attached to that bracket, so that you can really simply just click on and take it off when you need it to. As far as the radar detector, this is where I want to clarify some misconceptions. A lot of people have been told, oh, you need it as high as you can up on that window because it'll get the best distance. Hypothetically, maybe not hypothetically, technically, yes, that's true. But you got to realize that the average radar gun that the cops are shooting at you, the furthest you can really get with a radar detector is, depending on the terrain, between 2 and 4 miles away. And that's plenty of time to slow down or whatever if you get caught or you start to hear the radar. As far as the distance from them to actually shoot you and clock you, the active distance is only about 700 feet. If they're beyond that, it's not accurate. They can't really detect you. And as far as it being way up there, if you put it on your dash, people say, oh, well, you won't get as far. You're only talking like instead of 4 miles out, you might get 3.8 miles out having it on your dash, as long as it's higher than, say, the windshield wipers, which almost always will be. As long as that little eye, and this is where the misconception comes in. It's not a laser beam. There's laser radar, they call it LiDAR, and that's a light beam. But radar is radio waves, it's RF. And people don't realize this, but at 1,000 feet, and again, they're going to shoot you closer than that, but at 1,000 feet, when that radio wave leaves that radar gun from the cops and goes out to you, at 1,000 feet, that circle is 200 feet wide. There's 3 frequencies. You have the X band around 10 gigahertz, K bands around 24, 25 gigahertz, the KA band around 34, 35 gigahertz. But still, once it gets out there, at 1,000 feet, it's 200 feet a circle. That's the pattern. That's the size of a Ferris wheel. Okay, it's huge, and that's why it doesn't work very good that far away, because they don't know what car. They zap 8 of you driving down. They're just going to grab the fastest person, whoever's in the lead, unless they're behind you. And if everybody's going the same speed and they're all speeding, they'll get the guy at the very back of the pile if they're coming up from behind you. So the point is, no matter where you are, even if they're 3 miles out and you're catching the radar, even on your dash, you're going to get that signal because it's such a wide spread. And 1,000 feet, that's only basically a fifth of a mile. Remember, 5,280 feet in a mile. So if you're on a highway, that's like 2 delinear markers. Every delinear marker is a tenth of a mile. All right, so think of it as like each one's almost a little over 500 feet. And so putting it on your dash is fine. Now, I have a dash mat. It's like a carpet. You buy those and protect your dash. And the greatest thing about that is that you can use what I did. I stick on the bottom of my radar detector 2 strips of lock-in loop. It's like Velcro, but it's the kind where you push together and it like locks in. Because by doing that and I push it down on the carpeting, that dash mat carpeting, that thing doesn't budge. I don't care how fast you go. It's not going to move. It's stuck. You have to, just like Velcro, snap it, come off. But it's easy to come off. And by having that there and then your dash cam up on the mirror, dash cams are pretty small. Mine's only about this big. And It doesn't block any views. You can see really well. Doesn't cause any problems. I can still put up my sunscreens, everything. So the whole key to this is think outside the box. But the key is these magnets, okay? And the reason you want the little ones, 8 millimeter by 3 millimeter, you say, well, why can't I just put one big one on there and then that'll attach to the, the plate on the that I have up there? You can, but have you ever, just like rope? Rope isn't one strand of fiber. It's thousands of strands of fiber. That's what gives it its strength. It's like taking a strand of hair. I don't have any, but if you had one strand of hair and pull it, you could rip it right out of your head. Walk up to a girl who has a ponytail and try that. The hair ain't coming out, but you might break her neck. Same thing here. If you have one massive magnet and you try to pull that or take it off, it's so strong, either that plate is going to come off the stickiness of the film if you use it that way, or if it was on a bracket, it's going to pull it off there, or the magnet is going to pull off the sticky stuff that you would put on the back of, let's say you had sticky stuff on here, because it's, when you get the camera, it's sticky here. It was initially intended. Now you got these magnets on there instead. They're going to rip off of there. But if you put a bunch of littler ones, then you have less tension on each one, and you can slide it off or tilt a corner. It's easy to get it off. So that's why you want to do it that way. So again, this just to try to get you to think outside the box, give you a different thing. You don't have to go with just suction cups or just adhesive to the window or just a physical mount, but then, trying to get everything on the mirror. Now you can't see out the mirror or out the window because you got a radar detector, maybe a dash cam, something else there. Another reason for putting that radar detector on the dash is because now you don't have to worry about trying to get wires around to plug it in. It's right there at the dash. You can plug it in. As far as the dash cam, reason I like it up there too is because most mirrors nowadays are powered mirrors. They either auto tint or they have a compass and a temperature thermometer or something built in. There's power. There's a power plug. You can tap in to the power there to get your power. Now most dash cams are 5 volt. All right. They have USB, USB-C, USB micro, whatever plugins. And when I take you out to the truck and I'll show you how I have it, you can go on Amazon. So as I was saying, you can go to Amazon and you can get this little converter. It's got 2 wires for 12 volt, and you can tap into the wires where the mirror is. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, where the mirrors are, and you can go ahead and tap the 12 volts in, and it has a USB-C on the output, or you can buy one with USB micro or mini, whatever it is you need. And now, boom, right to your dash cam. You don't have to run wires around, plug them into your cigarette lighter. It does the same thing as those cigarette lighter adapters where you plug it in your cigarette lighter and it's got USB ports. Same thing, except it plugs in with a hard wire. It costs about $8, okay? You can get one of those. The radar detector, if you mount it on the dash, even if you don't have a dash cam, if you put the radar detector on the dash where it's out of the sunlight, you can put up your sunscreen. It's held in with locking loops. Even if you don't have a dash mat on there, you can still, those locking loops or have adhesive on the back. You can attach it to your dashboard. Now your cable's right there to plugging it in. You don't have to run a bunch of power up through your cables or through the ceiling, through the A-pillars or anything like that. So I'll definitely be showing you this, and but I just wanted you to see that there are alternatives. And these magnets, they're the best things. I mean, you can't beat these things for so many things. And radar detectors, they're a little weighty, but dash cams aren't. That's one reason I like to have the radar detector down here. You're still going to pick up a great signal. Having the dash cam up there right underneath the rear view mirror on a bracket, and then you have it magnet there. You can take it off, take it to another car, put it in your glove box so thieves don't see it and come in, put up your sunscreen, whatever. So again, This may not be anything new, it may not be anything you really care about, but it is a way to just get people to think outside the box, that there's other ways to do things. And with these magnets and stuff, you might find out that one thing I did too, I bought an Apple CarPlay, a 9-inch screen, because my car, it's older, it's a 2007 pickup, didn't have CarPlay. I wound up making it more permanent, but for a while there, I just actually had a solid rare earth magnet that I was able to, with adhesive, mount to on my dash, where it kind of blocked the stereo, which is good. Because this new one, then I took one of these plates, but I made a bigger one and put it on the back, and I could, boom, stick this to it, and I could take it out and move it to another car. Now nobody uses CDs anymore. I actually got a CD mount that slides into your CD player, tightens and locks it in place, and then my big screen can mount to that. So just think outside the box, especially with these magnets. Magnets are the greatest things in the world. So anyway, I hope this helps. You guys have a great day, and I'm going to edit in here a piece of the video with me actually out in the car or in the truck, and I'm going to show you how I've done it all, and then hopefully that'll be answer any of your questions, or at least, like I said, get you thinking a different way. So have a great one. We'll talk to you later, and don't forget all that subscribe, like. I don't make anything off of it. I don't monetize, but it does let me know that people actually, maybe they're learning something and they're actually watching this. And we'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye. So here's the converter I told you about, 12 volt to 5, and here's the metal plates, rectangular circle, and the magnets, 8mm by 2mm, 80 for $5. Can't go wrong. Okay, so I said I'd show you actual, and here's the radar detector. And like I said, I have a dash mat, but even if you don't have a dash mat, if you have just a regular dash, the lock and loop still work. You see this thing doesn't go anywhere unless I want it to. See, and it can peel right up. It's the lock and loop type. It's not regular Velcro. Let's see. It's this type here. Presses in and it locks into place with the other half. There is no female and male. You just cut to length whatever you want and put it in and push it down on any kind of a carpeting, or if you don't, then it has the adhesive. You can put a piece on your dashboard and a piece on the radar detector. And like I said, that as long as the eye of it is higher than basically higher than the wipers, it's going to get a signal. Because even at 1,000 feet away, 0.2 of a mile, that radio, that RF from the radar detector is really wide. It's going to get it. You don't gain that much more by being up here, but now you don't have to worry about theft or the heat melting it or being able to put up your sunshade. And the other half I was telling you was the dash cam. Remember the magnets? Boom, that's it. Unplug it if I want. I can hide it. I can take it into another car. This is, like I said, one of those metals you put on your phone cases. Boom. And because dash cams are really light, they don't weigh much, they fit perfectly, and it's not going to pull off. Radar detectors are a little heavier, and this up here is basically just a windshield bracket. This little box here, that's what gives that 5 volts. It taps into the back, the wiring, it goes to the mirror, so it converts the 12 volts to 5 volts. And I'll show you you already saw, I put a link or a picture of it, but basically just 12 volt to 5 volt converter, and you'll find it on Amazon. It's about $8-9. Anyway, that's why I like this, these metal plates that you put on your phone or your phone cases. there's squares and rounds and stuff. You can do whatever you want. And the lock and loop. And then you've got yourself installations that are removable for theft, removable for the heat. You can put up your sunscreen. But like I said, you know, here's one of those clear plastics, the electrostatics. You can put them up here, and then you can go ahead and mount, you know, with the adhesive to the dash cam or something to it if you want to. And yeah, you could peel it off, but you can only peel it off so much before it's unusable again. But it makes the camera pretty permanent on there again. Better than going straight to glass, but still, you can't put up your sunscreen. You have to worry about theft, breaking in, the heat and everything. But this, boom, comes right off. And like I said, there's the 6 magnets that they're stuck to the adhesive that normally would have just gone up on the window. So then it makes it so, boom, you're back. And I actually put a piece of black tape on my camera. I'm not sure, there you can see it, because that's how you adjust it, you know, up and down and whatever. So I got it to where I wanted it. And I did this way the camera doesn't turn. It's pointing straight ahead like I wanted it to. And like I said, you don't want to put one single big magnet, because then you rip that, either the metal plate, which is held on with adhesive, is going to pop off, or the big magnet might pop off of the adhesive. Having individual ones easier. You can slide them, whatever. So anyway, I hope that helps, and we'll chat with y'all later. And remember, subscribe, check out my channel, pass it on. I got a lot of different stuff in there. Talk to you later.